Three, two, one. Welcome to Behind the Story, where we discover your story. I just needed to add one from me for the bloopers. Because it was just too many for you, Naomi. I had to.
That's all right.
Do one
I'll
for
make her. And I'm Naomi Craig. Three,
Right? She's Australian,
Craig.
right? That's how you're supposed to say it.
Craig. Like raising the eyebrows too, or what?
Do I raise my eyebrows? I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't watched your dramatic effect there.
3, 2, 1. Welcome to Behind the Story, where we discover the story behind your favorite stories. My name's Lisa Renee from the Collab Press, and I'm also a contemporary romance writer.
And my name's Naomi Craig. I write historical fiction set in Bible times. Merry Christmas. This is our last episode of 2023. We're excited that you've been on this journey with us this year. If you have liked listening and watching Behind the Story, we'd love for you to comment and subscribe so you get notified each time we release some great content, and usually there's giveaways.
Awesome. So we're wrapping up this year. So it's just Naomi and I. We're just having a quick chat together, just overlooking this year what our favorite reads were, and also, what our releases, from 2023. So Naomi, what do you have for us today? What have you been up to lately, wrapping up for December?
It's I am still coming off of And Their Numbers Grew launch. Kind of trying to wrap that up. And I've really enjoyed working with Donna Elaine, and we had her on as a guest. And always fantastic to work with Donna. And I'm just trying to get everything sorted. And I've actually started brainstorming and planning for the next book. So I'm excited about that. How about you? What are you up to this last bit of December?
Yeah. Before I go on to that, I will mention we got some bloopers coming up from that we have from 2023. So we'll slip those in a minute. More on Naomi than me. I'm the editor. I just happened to edit. My bad.
Oh, how did that happen?
We had last year. We had so many bloopers of me with my intro. I finally I've been doing good intros this year, but I've just then during our recording did a stopped up the intro just as a exit to 2023. So wrapping up for myself, December also had a Kickstarter early the year for my pen name Lisa Renee, but then also a co-author, another pen name. We finished that Kickstarter and last week just fulfilled all the pledges, which sending out the paperbacks and hardbacks. So that was nice to get that out so people can get their book by Christmas. So that was really good. So other than that, we've got the Amazon launch for that book. So it's called Love Unscripted, and what we're doing is making our first book free in the Stuff Your Kindle Day, which is I think it's the 27th of December. 26th, I'm pretty sure it's 27th, and so the book Love Unscripted will go live just a few days before, and Amnesia and Nantucket will go free for on the Stuff Your Kindle Day. Nice. So we had an interview with Camilla Isley earlier, and she didn't even have her book on the Stuff Your Kindle Day, but she had a free book on Amazon, and she just got 40,000 downloads.
Really? Yeah. How do you get involved on Stuff Your Kindle Day?
Well, I invite you to the group.
Oh, they do? Oh, it's exclusive.
Yeah, no, there's lots of authors in there. But yeah, you have to add your book in. They only give you a short window, and it's twice a year, I think. So by December the 1st, we had to upload it. So anyway, so that's basically the soft launch. We're not doing a lot. We're spending a lot of money on that. It's actually free, but we're just offering our first book free because we did our big launch was the Kickstarter. So That's really good. Before we move on to our favorite books for the year, we'll just quickly show one of our bloopers from 2023. Take it away.
Came time to say, hey, I've written a book. They knew who I were. They knew who I was, and they knew who I was, knew who I am. Anyway, they
Your
yeah.
editor brain is just just clicks in. It all makes you question everything you say. It's so funny when you're an author.
Grammar.
One. Well, there you go. If you haven't subscribed to the craziness that is behind the story, we'd love to have you on board. And if nothing else, we'll bring some humor to your day. So
Yes.
So this one's kind of a tricky question, but what was your favorite book that you read this year?
Okay, well, as far as Christian fiction, romance is one of the genres I read in. I'm actually going to pick author that was in our Trinity Lakes romance series.
Okay.
Jenny Glazebrook. We actually didn't have her on as an interview. We had some of the other authors, but Where Our Hearts Lie. Jenny is she's the sweetest person. Lovely lady, and so she's in Australia now. I've met her at some conferences. I actually sat next to her at an awards dinner last year, I think it was. Well, our last in-person conference, and she's just so sweet. So there was an award, and I think one of my books was we were in the finalist for the Caleb's Award. Anyway, but she's just like, I just said how I loved her book, her story, because I read the first draft, and she goes, "Oh, so to hear it from me," sort of thing. I was like, "What?"
You have arrived.
It's just funny. I think she was one of my early readers on some of my first series. Had Acres of Promise. It's quite a gritty sort of Christian fiction.
Yeah,
and she really loved, how it was just very realistic, dealing with teenagers and things like that. But yeah, she became a fan. She hasn't read all my books or anything, but she's read a few, and the Fake Identity Estate, she loved that. So anyway, so it's just really sweet. But what I loved about the story is the main character. She is a sweet Christian girl sort of thing, but her parents put the mission field first. Like, they were pushing her through homeschooling because they wanted to get back out in the field and that kind of stuff. So she was very smart, very intelligent, and she this character was, and also she was probably a bit quite strict in some things in her mindset, and a little bit she's really lovely, everything, but I think she was a bit judgmental. Because she was brought in that homeschool community, and very smart, and her parents were very strong in their faith,
kind of guarded.
And so they just come into this community, Trinity Lakes, and then there's this pastor's son. He's just a joker sort of thing, and he's not really that serious about things. It's just the time of life he's going through, and it's completely opposites, and it's just a good dynamic there where they both learn from each other.
Awesome.
And it's a lot of fun. I really loved his character, Josh, that I put him in my Trinity Lakes book. So I really loved all her characters. So I flipped another guy that was sort of struggling, Brandon. He was a bit of a clown as well, so he came into my book. Even though her book was a few after mine, I just loved her characters. So I would say that was my favorite read as far as Christian fiction.
Very cool. It sounds amazing.
Yeah.
So what about you? That.
Do you have a favorite?
I'm really bad at narrowing down or judging even. So I've read a lot of good. I've actually read a lot of. I think Ash Keller mentioned the term like whale reading. Is that what? Have you heard that one before? Do you remember that? Like, it just seemed like just reading all the things. Like, I had a season that I was reading like my, all the backlist on my Kindle and stuff. I just needed to just read, and I hardly even I hardly even reviewed some of those. So there was first part of the year I was kind of in that, but then I've gotten into some more biblical fiction, some of the books that you have to take a little bit longer to process and stuff. So I'm glad for that. Let's see, I've read Tessa Afshar and Misu Andrews. I kind of had a little I've arrived moment too. I had somebody in the biblical fiction circle who asked me to endorse their book, and I'm like, oh, fancy. So that'll come out in spring of 24 or early. I don't remember. I can't remember if it's early or if it's spring, but that one is called Petra, A Legacy Unbroken, I think, and that's by Lisa Dorsey, and it's kind of fun. It's got a lot of like it's dual time. So we have it's like an archaeologist, and it's like very adventure hunting. Have you seen the movie National Treasure?
No, I don't think so.
No, it's about, a treasure hunter who's going around through American icons, I guess. So it just had that feel of adventure seeking, but then it went back. So it takes place in Petra, and it's got this which is in the Middle East, in like Arabia, what it used to be called Arabia in Bible times. And so then this dual line is Saul when he spent time in Arabia, Saul/Paul. So that's pretty fun. Quite an honor to be asked to endorse. And so yeah, I'm not gonna pick because I'm a chicken, I guess, or I'm just incapable of picking the best one. So that's my current read.
Cool. I've got one book. I'm the same with sweet and clean romance rom-coms. I read, so that's a majority that I'm reading because I'm writing in that. And so that's really hard to pick because you just listen. Well, I listen to them. I get my people to read it to me. So yeah, I'm not really great with book titles. And sometimes even authors, but I've got some favorite go-tos that I know this is going to be a good book. Having a break. Sure. And like Ash Keller mentioned before, a lot of the clean rom-coms, a lot of them can be a bit longer than I'm used to. So they might take a few days sort of to get through, in your breaks and stuff. So one that sort of, to mention just someone who's one of the big authors, Emma St. Clair. She's sort of like, an author, like people know you're going to get a good read. It's a good thorough read, keeps you engaged for this, 300 plus pages or whatever. So she kicked off a series, like a hockey romance series, because it's like popular. That's the hot thing at the moment with books, romance. It's like, it's not, what's the word? So you're right to market, but then there's the niches that are like, hot at the moment that really a trend. It's like a trend. So hockey romance is the thing. So sport romance wasn't as big. It's always been a trope, but yeah, at the moment it's hockey, ice hockey. And so Just Don't Fall by Emma St. Clair. She kicked off the series, and there's a bunch of well-known authors in that genre, and she did a great job. It's about social media, a girl sort of thing that she was best friends with this guy growing up, and he just suddenly sort of left town as a small town. You've got all the tropes in there. Second chance. He comes back. She's a social media person for the hockey team. They have to do silly dances and things like that, and he doesn't like all that. But it's a bit of fun, and it's just always well written and funny and just lighthearted. So
that's fun. Yeah.
And that's pretty recent, so I can remember that I read that.
I wonder if Carolyn Miller started that hockey trend, or if
she was an early adopter.
She was the one who had this years ago when she saw the Olympics. Like, this is her story has been happening for a while. So
so her books, she could just jump on this trend and they could start doing well, and she's already got them all released. So
and she's still getting, I think she's working on a second series, isn't she?
Yeah.
For hockey romance.
Yeah. She's a prolific, that's for sure.
Yeah. So impressed.
All right, well, let's bring on another blooper and just a few bloopers, and we'll finish up the bloopers for 2023. Enjoy on our behalf. The best out of him, and he brings out the best in her and encourages her.
Yes, she really needs him though to soften her sharp edges, because she can be abrasive. If you've ever been around someone who has a big idea, and I'm not trying to say this part about you, Lisa, or my sister, but it's it's not that you're abrasive, but if you've been around someone who has this big plan and theirs is the only way of right doing, then it's like, whoa, from people like me, it's like, whoa, hold on, back off, but I'm not saying that about you, but just the big dreams part was I'm gonna stop now.
Oh, that's great.
No.
Well, and we all critique partners, so yeah.
Yeah.
One.
No.
And I don't know. At least you got yourself in there on that one. Welcome to Behind the Story, where Naomi is crazy. So let's talk about the books we released. I'm actually able to say books plural. So let's talk about the books we released this year.
Okay. You want to go first?
Sure. My first one was in August, with Shira's Legacy. This is based off of, there's 5 verses that talk about her family in First Chronicles 7, and 1 verse that talks about her, but we learned that she built 3 cities. So in a patriarchal society, that's pretty impressive. So that one was in August, and then I co-authored And Their Numbers Grew with Donna E. Lane, which is fantastic. She's brilliant. And this is a New Testament, and it's 4 novellas interwoven, and it talks about the birth of the church and the spread of the good news beyond Jerusalem. So had lots of fun with that. And yeah, I really enjoyed that. So there's my books, plural. So I'm quite proud.
I'm going to look at the date to confirm when I released mine. So yeah, thought so. I released a second novella in my Bachelorette Clear Creek series. So it's a sweet rom-com, because I had my first book, Faking It for Grand's Sake, in a box set. It was a Sweet and Clean box set with other authors that came out, got the rights back, and I released it. And then January 31st, I released Brielle and Her Man Trap. And then later this year, I did the Kickstarter for Book Boyfriends and Lattes, which was the next novella, and also offering to exclusive to Kickstarters as a box set ebook or actually hardback. So,
cool.
And I think paperback as well, with the 3 of them. So that was just the 3 novellas, finished that off. But in April, I was the 3rd book in the Trinity Lakes romance series. So that was a lot of fun working with mostly Australian authors, 1 New Zealand author. We had a lot of interviews, so you could check out, search our backlist of our videos if you want to see some of the authors and a bit about these books and the story behind that story and that series. I'm not doing year 2 or 3 with them. I'm sort of focusing on doing a bit more with a pen name, Taryn Daniels. My co-author is Tabitha Bolden. She's doing great with all her books. She's just number 20 today in Publisher Weekly for her Love Inspired. So is it Cowgirls Radio?
Cowgirls Last Rodeo. It's fantastic. If you like the TV show Heartland, you will love the Cowgirls Last Rodeo for sure.
Yeah. So Tabitha's so amazing and so busy. She does ghostwriting for a company, it's what pays the bills. And she did 1 million words, I think, this year.
Yeah.
She was close to doing 1 million last year. I don't think she actually got there very close.
And she's already got many, many more beyond that. So
yeah. So she's just amazing. So a lot of fit in her schedule trying to get her to write books with me. So we did launch Love Unscripted. It's about to go on Amazon, but we did the Kickstarter, and we've started half writing the next book, which is the book 3 in that romance.
And then you also did Amnesia. Amnesia was out. Amnesia Nantucket
Yes,
this
so
year?
Amnesia was in a
We're up
box
to
set.
6.
Yeah, so Amnesia was in a box set. So this is a cool thing what I like doing, releasing it first in a box set, multi-author, then you get the rights back 3 months later if you got that deal organized, and then release it again under yourself, and then maybe then you make it into a series and then you release that as a box set. So that's what we will do. We'll write the third one for that series and then eventually bundle it.
And then this one was pretty short, but I think it still counts, right? The fake baiting my grumpy boss one.
Oh yes, that's right. So yeah, we went in a short novella box set and got that back, and now that first book is a freebie or sign up. It's actually not on Amazon as yet. I've got it on our website, and yeah, just people were finding the website somehow, and getting our first in the series of our Cousins and Nantucket
Excellent.
series, and then they're getting the fake. So we've got the novellas for free on my website. I'll put the link. It's payheap.com/the collab press, and yeah, so that's, I think, I promoted it a bit, and now maybe SEO has picked it up and people are finding it, they're getting like downloads.
Well done.
So that's fun.
Well done.
Yeah, so mostly this year finishing up is just I'm focusing a bit more on the marketing, because with Taryn Daniels, we've got these 6 books and our first series, which released last year, and now we're releasing this. We're up to going to be doing book 3 next year, of the full novels for Nantucket romantic comedies. So just like focusing on the Facebook now. I'm doing a course, and it's sort of like a new, for those authors that are following us, I've done Facebook ads before and paid someone to do it, and they did okay, but it wasn't really like taking off, so like some more breaking even, because Facebook changes things all the time. So now this new way of doing it is not actually having a target audience, like trying to go for this author or that author or this interest, like liking romance novels or liking Hallmark movies plus liking Kindle. Now it's just still targeting women and the age group like 35 to 65 plus. But and so you do the USA, like you might just target one country at a time, but just leave unlimited targeting and let Facebook find your audience. So there's a bit of testing involved, but basically, because you've got keywords, you've got now with AI, they can pick up what's in your images, what's the text in your image.
Yeah, cool.
And see those type of people that are liking that, and then it's sort of in the learning phase, but you've got a bigger, broader pool to advertise through, and then it's basically just focusing on your testing your images or your copy, like what the thing is. So that's what I'm learning, and that's what I'm going to do now. And we've got these assets like the Taryn Daniels series, we've got all these books, and also I've got mine, and I'm actually able to use the information and the social proof that I have from my last ads, bringing it to this new thing. So that's something, if anyone wants to find out more about that, Matthew J. Holmes, Holmes, he has 3 videos for free, which you could just do that. Basically teaches you, if you've got an idea of Facebook, it does teach you step by step how to create an ad, but that's the concept, and then it's not really much more for the actual course. But I decided I'm going to focus in, and sometimes when you invest in something like that and make a course, and then you'll spend time, so I did actually go and do the course, but a lot of people found it great just doing the 3 free videos and trying it out.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, so we have lots of marketing tips throughout the year. Different authors come on and they share, what works for them, because I'm finding, like with the interviews we do, Naomi, like, everyone's got a different sort of thing, what works for them. Some people, like, for their personality, their time or whatever, or their budget, and they find maybe Instagram is their thing, like interacting with the readers and bookstagrammers,
or Amazon,
and they do really, really well.
Amazon
Some just do Amazon ads, or some do these collections with other authors, so that, you know, like you doing great with your Facebook group. Tell us about your Facebook.
Yeah, it's been really hopping over there. It's Biblical Fiction Aficionados over on Facebook. We've just hit 1,000 members, and we're kind of reshaping the interaction with biblical fiction lovers. It's pretty awesome. We got permission to move over a book club from one platform. It was called Readers of Biblical Fiction, and there wasn't a whole lot happening there, so we got permission to move that over to Biblical Fiction Aficionados, and it's doing fantastic on BFA. We're getting a lot of interaction, and we just have a really good community where we just chat about all things biblical era and also early church fiction. So it's pretty fantastic there to celebrate all the books that are coming out now with that specific niche. So we're really pleased with that. Dana McNeely and I run that. Yeah, we've got some great authors over there. We've got great readers, and the interaction's just really phenomenal over there. So I'm really, really blessed by that. So
Excellent. Well, what have we got? We're going to have another release on January the 1st, and a giveaway and all that kind of stuff. So make sure you click subscribe, and maybe even notify bell so you don't miss out. And we'll have a giveaway coming up, and we'll be talking more about lessons learned in 23 and what we've got coming up for 20 and coming up for 24.
Yeah. Lessons learned in 23 and how we're going to apply them in 24.
Yeah, that's it. And then we'll review at the end of the year. Did we actually apply them, and did we actually learn from our mistakes? Did we write the things we planned to write? Yeah.
So good deal. Well, until next time, thank you so much for joining us.
And let us run with endurance the race set before us, looking unto the author and finisher of our faith. See you next time.
Would you be able to do a 3, 2, 1 and do that again? Because a couple of the internet just dropped out a few of your words.
Probably good, because I was like, bleh.
We might as well record it again. I could just play back another one from another past episode.
I know.
See, in this different outfit.
Whoa, how did that happen?
And then you get to press pause because you record.
Here it is.